So when you jack this up, because it's got air suspension, you want to try and... I'm going to try and jack it up from the diff, but because there's so much suspension droop, it's kind of tricky to get the wheels up off the ground, but we'll try that now. See if this goes high enough. There we go. There we go. Alright. See how the wheels are off the ground? So under the diff is probably the best spot. It's pretty low. And like anything, when you're working on a car, you want to put a jack stand under it, because if the jack lets go or slips off or whatever, you've got a bit of insurance against. Yeah, that's good, buddy. At least you can see the tyres are off the ground. Got a bit of insurance that you know that it's not going to fall on you or anything like that. Okay, so we're going to take the wheel off. 22 millimeters. I think it's 21, but because these little caps are on here, I just use 22 and it seems to work pretty well. Does that fit? It's 22? Yeah.
Wow, that's good!
That's it. Wheel is off. And roll this out of the way.
I just switched it to the...
Remember, everything you're doing is going to be on YouTube, so you have to be professional.
Yes.
You don't want to have to cut out a lot of... Yep, that's cool, mate. That's step one. I don't want to have to cut out a lot of... Next step is we've got to take out this little Torx screw that holds on the disc, and then we'll do the caliper.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to use 15 millimeters for where the brake caliper attaches to the, I guess, bearing housing. So do you want to put the camera in there? I'll just show you. That's the one there. And it's a star, so you can use, you know, just a regular spanner. I just normally put this on and give it a couple of taps with a hammer to break it loose. Okay, so the next step is you want to take this Torx bit out. Let's see what size it is. It's a T50.
T50?
T50. What we might first do is we'll just give this a little bit of a tap. To loosen it. It shouldn't be that tight. No, this one's alright. Cool. So that's loosened. And actually you can see here the wheel bearing. Listen to this. So that's bad. That means that there's play in the wheel bearing. The wheel bearing's worn out. You know, is it going to fail? Well, it's probably going to last quite a while longer, but it's best just to get a fresh one in, because you don't want it breaking while you're driving along the highway. Okay, so we'll buzz this off. I think that just must center it to the hub or something. Must just hold it in place. This is how I normally take off the back brake bolts, because they're quite tight. Let's get a spanner on there and give them a bit of a tap. And they normally break free. So the next step is we're going to take off these back bolts. Let's see, that one and that one. And we're just going to use a air tool socket. Makes it a little bit easier. Let's just check we've got that on backwards. Take this one. Parker. Okay. That's that one. And then this one.
The bullet fell down.
Parker, remember, There we go. Okay, now you can see the brake caliper will come off, so we're supposed to tie it up because you don't want to let it hang on the brake line. We'll see if we can find something to tie it up with. Okay, so we're just going to wiggle this caliper off. The next step is this one. We're going to take this wheel nut off, or whatever I suppose it's axle nut, 32 millimeters. Okay, so we've got the nut off, and we are going to take the disc off.
Let's get some better view. Sit down.
Okay, that's off. Yep, nice. Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take off the top bolt. Okay, stop the step. Cool. Oops. Yep, stop. Now we're going to take this one off. Can you see it? Zoom in. There's a bolt on the back of this. Yep. That's a big bolt. Cool.
That's it. That's it.
So we want to take this clip off, adjust this in a little bit to loosen the pressure, and we want to take this clip off and release this spring so we can get the pads across out, and then we want to also, basically the end result is we want to get the handbrake cable that leads in, detach that from the back of the drum shoe. So you want to get a nice close shot of this clip. Okay. So this clip, I normally just do this with these. Let's see if we can get it out. It might flick out, but there we go. So that clips out. Just put the screwdriver in the back. Here, I'll hold it. Okay, so the next step is, this is the handbrake cable that comes in from the back, and because we've got to take this whole unit off, we're going to have to get this cable out of here. It comes out, there's like a little clip in the end that allows that half of it to pivot up. I'll try and show you after I've got it off. So the end of this handbrake cable basically goes in here, and you have that pivot which locks it in, and when you pull a little spring which is on the end of here, when you just pull that, flick that out with a screwdriver, then you can open up this section and pull the cable through. Now the next thing we want to do, we want to take our wheel speed sensor off, which is just two 8mm bolts, which are normally not too tight. Hopefully they're not too tight. Just pulled that speed sensor off and out of there. So the hub and the whole assembly is off. There's the bearing inside, and kind of skipped showing you the step, but once you've sort of got everything loosened off, the top control arm and the bottom control arm off the back of this, top and bottom, don't fully take them out, because you need to stop this from twisting while you get a puller on and press out. Your axle shaft is going to be in there, so you've got to basically push that out through there. Do you need a puller this size? No, probably not, but this one seemed to fit pretty well, so I just did it with this one, and that's about it. Just take your time with pulling it off, because you kind of need to stop this from twisting, because you're going to obviously be turning on your puller. So So I had a bar through on the ground through here just to stop that twisting. It doesn't need heaps of torque to pull it off. It just, I think it's just a loose, I guess sort of loose fit, but because it hasn't been touched for a long time, it's going to be pretty stiff. The circlip is actually tucked in here. Now I've got it out of this one on this side. It goes in the front there. There's really not any way that we're going to be able to take that out without some special tool. So if we press this out, what I did was with this one, we press out from here, it pushes most of this out, and anything remaining we can basically press out on the press. So we'll see how we go. Alright, let's give it a bit of a press. That sounded like we got somewhere. That's it. That one took a little bit more than the other side. This is what happened with the other one. That I'll show you how to get the whole bearing out. Okay, so we're going to use one of these to get the rest of this out. We're going to basically put it over there, lock it off, and then we can keep pressing it through. Okay, so we got it rigged up. We'll just put it a little bit like this, and we'll press this part out. Okay, we're all rigged up on that collar, and we'll give it a try and press it out. Use our socket to press it the rest of the way. I didn't show you that step, but I just kept pressing with a socket. That's the collar of inside of that bearing or race or whatever you want to call it. I suppose in a race. I just grabbed it with this and pressed it through. It wasn't ridiculously tight, but it was tight that I mean, I know we don't all have presses, but if you can get a press, it's going to make the job a lot easier. If you don't have circlip pliers, I've got some, but they're not very flash. You've got a bit of a gap here with these circlips, so you can get a screwdriver in here and work your way around. So you just pop one side, you tap this around with a hammer. That'll open up this side and you can work this side off. I put a bit of pressure on this one and it didn't want to move. Just going to put a bit of lube around here. See if we can make it a little bit easier for it to slide out. Remember how the other one came out, but we can pop it in the press and have another go. That one took some serious pressure then, but we got it and we're on our way. Here it comes. There we go. And there's our other bearing. This one was in a bit better shape. There was probably only a couple of millimeters play, top to bottom. Let's have a look. It's a bit grumbly. Anyway, I'd rather have fresh ones in. So that's it. Now I'm just waiting on some new ones. And I'm going to buy some extras if anyone nearby ever needs any. Because I figured it's cheaper for me to order 4 from the States than it is to order, well, it's cheaper to order 4 from the States than it is 1 from Australia. That's how ridiculous our markup is on everything. But when I get the fresh ones in a couple of days, we'll put them in and I'll take a video of that.